Project Veritas exposes violent Antifa, infiltrates their secret meetings where they plot violence and horrible acts. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today we're with Project Veritas, maybe the last organization that's still willing to do real journalism, unlike the mainstream media, which doesn't tell you the truth at all. Now, before we look into this video and fully discuss the implications of this shocking footage, if you're new to the channel, remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications. And if you're a regular viewer, consider giving this video a share, as well as visiting Project Veritas. Let's roll the clip.
I've been undercover with Real City Antifa since July of 2000.
Don't be that f***ing guy with the goddamn spiked brass knuckles getting photos taken of you. Police are gonna be like, perfect, we can prosecute these f***ers. Look how violent they are. Right? Not that we're not, but we need to hide them.
So isn't that a golden line? Isn't that an absolutely golden line? So there's a lot of people who claim that Antifa are actually good guys. Groups like CNN defend Antifa. I believe Teen Vogue recently released an article where they said, hey guys, Antifas are actually good guys because they're fighting, because they're called anti-fascist, right? So if a group calls themselves like anti-terror and then they go commit acts of terror, what does that make them? Well, that would make them terrorists. In fact, according to the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, Antifa has been declared a domestic terrorist organization. With this label, I absolutely agree, because as they say themselves, it's not that we're not violent. We just need to hide that shit. So this is indisputable proof that Antifa is violent, they do commit terror, and they are trying to hide it. So they show clips of Antifa violence all over America. Currently, America is being ravaged by riots, lootings, and protests. Now, the mainstream media has told you, probably, time and time and again, that the protests are peaceful, despite the fact that people have died, people are being beaten, attacked, businesses are being burned down, stores are being looted, and these groups have all been committing a lot of violent acts and destruction. There's nothing peaceful about these riots and these lootings, and a lot of it is directly planned by Antifa. Now, the media denies this, of course, and you even have groups like CNN who defend Antifa, claiming that they're actually good guys. But they're not. They're very, very bad guys, and you're about to see that.
And I am about halfway through the prospecting process to become a full-fledged member of Antifa.
If you ruin their day, if you like heckle them, you make them feel like they look ridiculous, you make them feel outnumbered, and therefore their whole yay yay America Trump thing is going to go by the wayside.
So here you can see that basically they're anti-American. Now, anti-Americanism is one of the important indicators of a terror group, of a group that commits violence, of a group that's dangerous. So they're anti-American because, yay, yay, America, Trump. Apparently, America being in a good place is bad. And here I noticed that they have a sign in the way back, and it says, F marriage, trans rights now. Isn't that an interesting statement? Apparently, you have to destroy marriage in order to give trans people rights? I don't understand how that makes sense, but that's a very interesting. That's a very interesting look into their mentality.
They reached out to me through Proton Mail, and we went back and forth. And there was an interview set to meet up in Portland. So to verify that it was me, they had me wear a white shirt and have a water bottle, and show up at a Starbucks.
Oh, no, 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 no. Oh.
Isn't this the most cringy, like, LARPing Black Ops kind of shit? Like, literally, like, they have a whole system in place where, oh my god, so we're gonna meet in this shady location, right? And you're gonna wear, like, a white shirt and a bottle, and then our operative will come, and he's gonna ID you, and it's all very hush-hush. Oh, cloaks and daggers. I feel like a spy. These are all man-children, right? Violent man-children. Dangerous nonetheless. I just find it really cringy. These cucks actually believe that they're revolutionaries, and they're doing all of this, like these secret meetings and this very organized method of joining. Folks, these are all indicators of a cult. These are all indicators of an organized movement. The media has claimed that Antifa is not organized. They are. There is an indoctrination process. There are rules. There is organization.
And asked who I was, and I told them, and I followed them to the destination where the interview was going to be held. They were getting this trade craft from someone else, someone with much more experience, someone who did this for a living. Caroline, which is the founder of RCA, moved to Sweden with her husband, who is a dual.
And of course, it's Sweden. It's always Sweden.
Rose City Antifa holds required lectures for prospecting members in secret at, in other words, bookstore before they open. They require us to put our phones in the bathroom.
Goal of this, right, is to get out there and do dangerous things as safely as possible.
Isn't that an oxymoron? The whole goal of this movement is to get out there and do dangerous things as safely as possible. Now, we're going to zoom up here. I'm going to try to read from their little slideshow here, their PowerPoint, and we're going to expose Antifa and their so-called teachings. Here it says, butting up continued. Keep an eye on their buddies' emotional states and try to calm them down. Comfort them when necessary. Yeah, hold your buddy's hand. You little crybabies. Leave with their buddy if they want to go for any reason. Provide support if their buddy gets arrested. This could mean passing on their details to a legal support person or arranging for someone to meet them when they get out of the police station. Get help if their buddy is getting hurt. This could be fighting off an opponent, calling an ambulance, finding a first aider, or asking someone with a camera to record the situation. This might make it all seem rather formal and difficult to maintain. In reality, it isn't. It's just a way of making sure that no one gets forgotten in the confusion of the action and everyone has a friend to look out for them. So isn't that sweet? These Antifa members all look out for each other. It's almost as if they're increasingly organized.
How violent is Antifa or RCA in particular?
Practice things like an eye gouge. It takes very little pressure to injure someone's eyes.
They do not hesitate to either push back or incite some kind of violence. You know, we talk about weapons detail and what we carry and what we should have.
So they talk about gouging people's eyes out. They're in here planning for violence in their secret little meetings. They actually believe that they're some sort of brave revolutionaries. Now imagine being one of these soy cucks, okay? Imagine, let's say you're a male that goes to these meetings. You know, you're not strong. You have a limp wrist. Your PP doesn't work so good, right? And you go to these meetings, right? There's this whole cool indoctrination process, right? Oh, you're going to meet up in a secret place and wear a specific outfit, and then they're going to ID you, and then you're going to make your way to the secret meeting. Oh, it's so exciting. I'm part of something big. I'm going to save the world. I'm a hero. When in reality, you're actually a scummy, treasonous criminal who's engaging in what is basically treason against your own country. All for the sake of anarchism, of communism, of anti-fascism. Let me give you a little tip here. If you have to talk about gouging people's eyes out, you're not the good guys.
What is Black Bloc? Well, this is Black Bloc right now. It's a tactic in which individuals conceal their identity to look uniform so that no one can be identified in an act of a crime.
So Black Bloc is basically becoming anonymous in real life. It's hiding your identity so that you cannot be identified and not be punished for horrible crimes. Now, I am someone that actually supports the death penalty, and unlike some of the cucks out there, I believe that people who commit horrendous crimes should be reckoned with to the fullest extent of the law. And I personally think that our law does not go far enough. Anonymity would mean nothing, absolutely nothing, if absolute force was used against people rioting, looting, and committing acts of violence. There needs to be justice. But the problem with America is we let these people get away with it. Now, how many times have so-called right-wing groups or far-right people been blamed For all of these things, how many times have the FBI arrested some sort of right-wing extreme group, but never ever do they arrest Antifa? Never do they arrest far-left extremists who are far, far, far more common. For every far-right extremist, there are 9 more far-left extremists. Leftism has become very extreme. Even the data shows this. If you look at polls, if you look at the data of how far left and how far right regular liberals and conservatives have gone, liberals have gone to the far left and conservatives have barely budged at all. Conservatives have been consistent, but the left has become further left. And yet, despite this, despite these organized groups plotting terror on American soil, who does the mainstream media and who does the mainstream law enforcement go after? Right-wingers. Why aren't they arresting Antifa?
With RCA, it seems much more structured, almost like a company. I feel like there is some type of outside funding, influence, or resources being used.
So the man in the interview clearly says that he believes that Antifa is being funded by powerful groups with money. Now, anyone with half a brain knows that rich, powerful people are funding groups like Antifa to destabilize the United States. In order to figure out who, simply ask yourself the question, who benefits? Well, China would benefit from Antifa destroying America, so they're probably throwing money at them. Russia would benefit from America collapsing, so they're probably throwing money at them. People like George Soros, who engage in market manipulation, take advantage of destabilization in countries, is probably throwing money at them. Basically, anybody with an agenda.
Consider like destroying your enemy, not like delivering a really awesome right hand, left eye blow, you know? It's not boxing, it's not kickboxing, it's like destroying your enemy.
Now, I find this line the most hilarious of all, because there's so many videos out there of Antifa getting their asses handed to them by Uber Chads, right? Right-wing Chads who knock them to the ground and they just collapse because they're completely and utterly weak. They're talking about destroying their enemy. Please. That being said, these people are dangerous, okay? The same way that a toddler with a gun is dangerous. Yeah, they're a toddler. Yeah, they're a little baby. But they can still pull the trigger. Now, Project Veritas is doing excellent work exposing these people. And I have to talk about it too, because if I didn't, you would probably never hear about it unless you were subscribed to Project Veritas itself. The fact of the matter is, they're completely exposed, like they're organized. They meet the qualifications for a terror group, and I hope that law enforcement actually starts cracking down on left-wing extremism, because left-wing extremism has been completely and utterly ignored. Why? Because it benefits the corrupt establishment. It benefits the leftists in the government who want to take advantage of the chaos. They'll blame the big bad orange man for everything that the left is doing to destroy America, blame Trump, and then take credit to get votes. That's pure evil. In classical fashion, YouTube took down part 2. Here you can see a user named Cavett Pete saying, "Did YouTube delete part 2 of this? It's no longer available." Yowzer says, yes they did. And part of it was surely that the commenters talk about the background and history behind Antifa. Time to expose this platform to everyone and start using free speech platforms. Wow. So there's a very good chance that YouTube is censoring these videos, protecting Antifa. So is that who YouTube stands with? Is that where we're at now? A lot of people just say, oh, it's a conspiracy. No, it's not. It's not a conspiracy when you can see it right in front of your very eyes. I will not let them get away with it. The truth will be known, no matter how many people want to hide it. That is the American way. But you know what, my friends? That's pretty much the story. Project Veritas infiltrates Antifa and completely exposes an organized, violent, dangerous organization. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. Let me know what you think about this video. Leave a comment down below in the comment section. Now, the first thing that I ask is that you simply share this video and that you give Project Veritas your support. They're very good. They do good work. One of the last few real journalists left. Now, if you want to support my channel in the work I do. You can join me on Patreon or Subscribe Store. Joining will give you access to a private Discord server. If you want to donate, there's Donor Box and other methods down below in the description. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.